All right, Alex, go.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I am Jeff Doss. What's up, guys? Yes, we are here. We have lots of great special guests with us tonight. So start getting on, start sharing, start tagging your friends and family and tell them, hey, Amanda's on the show. Malachi's on the show. Mitchell's on the show right now. Get on here. Let's go. So I'm excited to welcome these great guests and these amazing athletes and competitors. Amanda Duarte, we got Malachi Randall, and we got Mitchell Street. Welcome, guys.
Thank
What's
you.
happening, guys?
Thank you.
Having us.
Yeah. I'm so excited to be on here. It's a tradition. Every day after karate, I hop right onto the stream, like in the car coming home. I'm
Yeah,
so
I don't
excited.
think there's been like a week that my dad has missed the show. Like he puts it on the TV every week. He's like, Amanda, airdrop it, airplay it on the TV, and the whole family's always
Right.
watching.
That's pretty sick. That's cool. That's cool.
What about you,
Yeah,
Mitchell? Do you watch the show a few times?
Oh yeah, I watch it all the time.
All right.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it. I appreciate it.
I bet
Yeah,
that's
me
really
and
good.
John
Thanks,
watch it
guys.
all the time.
Yeah,
and John
John is
Bleedy.
always texting me, during the show. He probably texted me in this a little bit right now, So he's
Well, what are
he's
some of your
doing it right now.
favorite or like memorable moments of the show that you guys remember on your side? Because Jeff and I have ours that we remember, but you guys have a completely different vantage point.
I like every Christmas, like when you guys do the gift exchange. I feel like that's always cool. But I definitely like the tournament recaps after every tournament, where like you guys talk about how it went. That's always
That's definitely the same for me. I
Yeah.
love the tournament.
Yeah,
yeah.
same here.
Yeah, it's always fun telling the different stories. And I mean, there's certain ones where both of us are at. It's rare now, and those are wild because sometimes, like let's say it like Chicago, we were there for the whole weekend, and we maybe saw each other like twice, right? So we have to completely different things going on, And a lot of the times we try to bring on some competitors on because we know y'all don't want to just hear only my view of what the tournament was. Again, I'm pretty busy as well, so it's always like I remember one tournament where I didn't even get to see any fighting, and I think it was because we were divided up so much and on the time and stuff, and I was like, all right, this really made me mad, like because that's one of my favorite things to watch is the fighting, and
And I think it was a Warrior Cup too. I think it was like
it was
the
Warrior
last
Cup.
time I
All
actually
the
remember
fights
like
on one
seeing
side.
you for like a little bit was probably like 22 at Warrior Cup. And you didn't, that's right. You didn't see like any fighting. And I was, obviously reffing pretty much the whole fighting weekend. So
Right.
that's a rare time where it's like, all right, this works to where we could parcel it up. But again, we get our vantage point, and then you guys have another one. So we're excited to wrap with you guys a little bit about what your guys' tournament year's been like, what we have on the horizon, and then really what your take, what your passions are like, and what your martial arts competition lives are like.
Yeah, and then of course, like we're talking about, each one of you guys move up to a new age category, a whole new different thing. So what's that like looking forward? So before we move forward, I still have to, and I'm sure the best thing was last week we were on the show, and Alex was like, "Yeah, Malachi, he moves up to adults, right?"
I was gonna say I cannot wait to move up to adults. It's gonna be amazing.
And that first thing I said, "Oh my God, his mom is freaking out." Like, no, not my baby. And yeah, your dad texted me. He's like, "Yep, that's pretty much it." So that was hilarious. Oh man. All right. So
Well, I was thinking of Mitchell, and Mitchell, that's a significant jump
Yeah,
going.
it is.
'Cause it's the biggest jump that you're going to have, because when you go 18, yes, you're competing against 18, 19, 20-year-olds, but you could also be competing against 37-year-olds.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
or in Jeff's
Or
case,
40,
someone in their
42.
40s.
Yeah, K Talk. That was like my first US 18 plus, NASCA, US Sport Karate divisions, and it was definitely different than normal like WKC 18 plus. It's a new world in American tournaments, not just Canadian tournaments. So it's a I feel like it's a bigger jump than what we have up here.
Wait, you think it's a bigger jump doing it in America than it is in Canada?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Why do you think that? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just curious.
We have a selection of people that do, because we don't have a lot of 18 plus people up here. We have they either come and they spectate or they come and coach. They might come and compete, but it's one of those three. It's not always
Okay.
It's not always all three. So it's either I see them and I compete against them, or I see them and I just talk to them. I don't even get to compete against them.
Yeah.
So
well, I know because I know that, and that's good insight to have, because that's stuff like I'm not gonna know, you know.
yeah.
So I know that the junior divisions for most of the tournaments in Canada are pretty competitive and pretty
Yeah, they're pretty big.
But then what you're saying is kind of like the culture is like it's not as many people compete when they're in the adults.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when they hit 18 plus, they'll do a couple and then they will back off of it.
Okay.
We got a lot of people in the comments doing a lot of fun things here. So I know Leandro is one of your big fans as well. Yeah. So before we move on, so Mitch, like, we're gonna get to Amanda and Malachi next, but Mitch, who is someone that you are excited about competing against in the adult division?
Honestly, it has to be either like Mason Stowell, or Esteban, or Ben, one of those three.
Yeah.
For Mason, he's my coach, so I like the student versus coach type competition, and then just going against like Esteban and Ben, those guys, Dawson. I would love just to go against them. They're awesome guys. I wanna feel how it's like going against JPM or any of those big teams to see how I'll go against them.
That's awesome. All right, Amanda, let's go ahead and jump into, and Malachi saying that, let's go ahead and jump into this question for you guys too. So Amanda and Malachi, both of you guys are moving from the 13 and under group up to the 14, 17. And, you know, having some big years, as all three of you guys have had big years of winning overalls and all kinds of fancy trophies and championships and all that stuff, you know, flexing y'all's muscles, you know. But now we're moving up. Who are you excited about competing with or against? Amanda, you go first.
Okay. So for like the traditional side, I'm super excited to compete against Emerson. She's very good at kata, so I can't wait to go up for the challenge. She's also going to be a lot older than me, so it would be fun to compete against her. And then for like the CMX side, I know Cody Molina will still be in that division. I think it's her last year. But she's an amazing competitor, super strong. So I'm excited to compete against her alongside Asia Assessor. Also those would be my three biggest competitions, I think. And then the girls still in my division, Demi, Olivia, those girls, always amazing to compete against them.
Yeah, a lot of you guys move up together, you know, which you probably all have since you started, right?
Yeah, there's only, I know, like Maddie, she stays down 1 year, so we're always like 1 year on, 1 year off. But most of my division is all year, like all year round. So yeah.
Awesome. All right, Malachi, how about you, man? We can get into all the different divisions you do too.
Yes, sir. So For trad, I want to say I'm super excited to compete against Trey and Henry. They both have amazing form, super powerful, super clean, and I'm just really excited to go up against them. And then for fighting, I say no one specifically. I really want to go against the people who I used to go against who moved up from the 12 to 13 division, because I had a lot of great fights with people like Richard. We kept on going. And yeah, I mean, there's so many different divisions with so many different people. It's just going to be amazing. I'm so excited to move up.
So what's your open weight division? What's that going to be? Is that going to be the same, or is that going to?
I think the open weight's going to be the same. Yes, sir. 12, 14.
Okay, so that will be the same, and then you're 14, and then you'll move up to 14, 15. Okay, so
Yes,
that
sir.
makes now you'll just be at the top of that open weight division, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Now,
So
you mentioned.
go ahead,
Is that all
Alex.
right, Jeff? Is that all right if I ask a question?
Yeah.
So now, Will, hang on a second. You mentioned that you wanted to compete against some of the guys that you've competed against before. Is that just because you have some familiarity with them, and you're like,
It's a lot
hey,
of people I go back and forth with, so I'm super excited to meet them again so that we can fight again, because I was fighting inside my 12, 13 with them, and then they move up, so I fight the rest of the year without fighting them. So now I'm excited to fight them again, compare our skills after all the training and the whole entire year.
you want to set the record straight. You want to say that you're better.
Yes,
That's
sir.
really what you're saying. You're saying the politically correct thing, and I'm the one who says it the way it is. Okay, but that's okay. No. Listen, I think that's a champion's mentality. I'll never forget the time I was just walking through a tournament because I didn't really think of things this way, and Ross Levine stopped me in like a hallway of like a tournament, or maybe it was a ballroom or something like that, and he goes, "Hey, you better win your division today." And I'm like, that's the plan. And he goes, "No, you better win your division today because I want to beat you." I'm like, "We're not even in the same division. What are you talking about?" And he goes, "No, you have a winning record against me, and that ends today. So you got to win so that I can beat you." I'm like, "What?" And then he like slapped me on the shoulder and was like, "No, I really do hope you win because I like you, but no, I really want to beat you," because he keeps track. He knew who had a winning record against him, and he would like gun him down. He got it eventually, but those are just things. So like when you said that you wanted to compete against some of the guys that you've seen before, it immediately made me think of like that mentality that Ross Levine was talking about. I think that's a champion's mentality, but it is also important to know who are the top guys in your divisions. Do you honestly feel like, hey, I can enter in now, and I actually feel like I can contend or beat them now? And I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, the answer is yes. You should know who the top guys are. Mitchell, you already named them off. That was very good. All right. But do you guys think that you could at least be competitive like right away?
I think so. I think all three of these guys can. I think that's the plan. I think that's why, everyone's excited about seeing them move up. I'll compare it to when I moved up. I after a big year when I was 15, I was moved up to the 16, 17. I just won the overall grand of winning the most traditional grands and winning the most, championships were a lot different back then. But, back then it was just all 17 under grands, right? And so I just won that in the 14, 15 division. And so in my mind, okay, well, I'm moving up with some of the same people. I'm going to beat them anyway. But you have to go in there with that mindset of not just being the top dog, of also still having that chip on your shoulder of being the underdog as well, like a confident underdog. Because I tell you what, the first few tournaments, the person I beat, 12 tournaments in a row, beat me those first two tournaments. And it was like a shocker. It was like, what in the world is going on? And so you got to remember that, like anyone can be beaten, but you're here for a reason and you want this just as bad. Don't say, oh, well, I'm in this new group and it's okay. We can say that it's okay. There's a reason, or we have an excuse of why we aren't going to win, but that don't mean nothing to us, right? We go in there and we're going that same mindset and that attitude to destroy, right?
And you really do have a lot of people who are watching you and want you to succeed, but you have a whole division of people who do not want you to succeed. Not just because it's like, all right, we're competing against each other, but specifically for like Mitchell, for like you're going up into like the hardest division.
Yeah.
If you come out guns blazing and you win right away, it says something about them a little bit, right? In the back of their mind, they're like, did we gonna let this freaking kid come in here and beat all of us? Because then it's like you against everyone, and they all want to take you out. Because if you come in and be competitive and beat all of them, now it makes them feel like, wait, are we not good enough? He just beat all of us. He ain't never been here before.
Yeah, you definitely have to build up like a whole new reputation right before you get into that new age group, new division, and it's something I've been working on all year. Every tournament, just trying to build more and more reputations of myself, talking to new people, talking to promoters and all that. It was hard at the beginning, but probably like halfway around like Battle of Atlanta, definitely was like the icebreaker for me.
Well, some people over the years have been able to get away with entering into their new age division sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And you guys don't really have that luxury because you've been so successful and so prominent for a very extended period of time. There's not very many people who don't know who you are and exactly how old you are. So you can't really sneak in, right? So it's
we already started the rumor that Malachi is turning 18. So
we
just
keep saying it. It'll just happen.
we just keep saying it. It'll happen, right?
I mean,
Brett has a good question though, Alex. Hold on, because there's we got new divisions and stuff. So he's asking Mitchell, will you be doing the new traditional open division? So that division, for people to know, really, it's just Kempo and Chinese combined. So they just, instead of separated, that's just one division now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So and for people that don't know, you have a background in both of those styles, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So what are you thinking? Is that something you're going to be doing, or what's going on?
Definitely, yeah. So I was bummed out to hear that Chinese and Kempo were the normal divisions were leaving for 2026. But then when I heard that they were being combined, it brought me that joy back. So I'm going to be doing those divisions. Probably like every other one, I'll switch between Kempo or Chinese just to play around on how each form works.
Yeah, and the truth is, I've noticed too, Mitchell, like it really depends on where you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've watched some where I was like, man, I thought the Chinese should have made it over, the Kempo in this one. And then on other ones, it's been the other way around. And it really just depends on the area you're in, of course, the judges, all of that. So.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be exciting for that.
Educate me on that. Because with the Kempo and the Chinese being in the same division, that's a tricky thing because that also encompasses wushu.
Exactly. So here's our problem.
Not even close to the same thing.
No, I know. But here's our problem is that we haven't seen as many wushu in our sport over the last 5 to 6 years. Okay.
This is very true.
And so we've seen more of the traditional kung fu or whatnot. So that is a little bit more similar. I mean, again, they're still different, very different. But
yes,
as far as, we've seen that happen, you even have some that will be wearing a black uniform doing the Chinese division because they're doing Chinese Kempo, right? Which I saw at Toronto. So you've seen that. So I think that's where it comes from. But again, until someone like a Singao or a DX or someone from Beijing, like we used to get all the time, a new guy would come and just whoop everybody and win the whole thing. Then we'll probably have to get another division again.
Then it'll split back up, or even just like a man, it's probably been 10 years since we've seen him or more, but even like Austin Jorgensen, you know?
Right.
So when someone like that comes, that is, I think we can kind of, the history will repeat itself. When that happens, it'll probably be like 3 tournaments before they're like, all right, enough of this. This is
Yeah.
getting split.
Yeah, this will happen. Hey guys, for if you don't know, 1 year, 2004, they combined Korean and Japanese in the adult division. They just said, you know what, we're going to do it just like juniors, and this was 2004, and then that lasted what, like 4 tournaments, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah, so they
I
had to
get
use the seed still. Yeah, I flipped back and forth from like both divisions, and then it was one, and then they switched it, and then they split it up, and then they made it. You can do as many divisions as you want, but you can't do Korean and Japanese. That was a rule, which always made no sense. But wait a minute, I can do creative, musical, extreme, all these, but I can't do Korean and Japanese. So yeah, a lot of interesting things that has happened. But you know, I feel like right now, especially over the past few weeks, we've gotten some more clarity on the rules. Are some of the new rules or new divisions, or even just new things that came out that you are excited about? Amanda, you go first.
Okay. I'm super excited about how the bladed and non-bladed got split. I think before, it was still fun to compete against like everyone doing the non-bladed, but I feel like they kind of have an advantage over us people that are bladed because, you know, with a bow you can hit the gi super hard. With us people with like sword and stuff, we have to be super flashy.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably like my biggest one. I'm super excited for that. I'm just kind of confused on how it's going to play off in runoffs. I don't know if any of you guys know how that's going to work in runoffs.
I think it's just going to be the same thing. Just, you know,
Mm.
you split it up, and now you're just all going to go against each other again.
So
the
it would
same.
be like the 12, 14, 15 winner and the 16, 17 for bladed, non-bladed. Okay.
Well, I mean, I think it's all the
Oh,
traditional.
all would be combined.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Andrew said he knew you were going to mention that one as your one of your favorites. Malachi, what about you, bud?
Okay, so this year I haven't done much trad challenge divisions. I think I only did it like once or twice. But next year it's going to be 2 rounds, right? So
Yeah.
the top 4 move on, and you have to do a different kata. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. I think I'm going to start doing trad challenge more. Yeah.
I agree, man. That's what makes it a challenge. I think it's really cool. You know, that they're doing that. You know, we've kind of asked for it for a long time. When it first started at AmeriKick years ago, that's how it was. And it was always very exciting to see, you know, just the well-roundedness of these martial artists. So I think that's why a lot of people have enjoyed watching the Korean challenges, because of that, of people doing different forms, you know.
So
Mitchell, anything else you're excited about? I mean, nowadays, because it used to be there was a lot of difference from the juniors to the adults as far as the divisions. Now they're kind of mimicking them,
Yeah.
but still, you get those new ones as well.
Yeah, like definitely what Malachi said, having like 2 rounds to try challenge. It just gets to show that you have more in your inventory than just one form, which I'm just trying which I love that it's changed. I get to show more of what I can be than just the one form guy. And then
Yeah.
same with like the open trad division. I get to show more than what I am. I get to bloom a little bit.
I
So
like that.
I like that
yeah.
as well. Mitchell, do you have a form that you're like, I haven't done this one in competition, but I really want to?
Yeah, so at Toronto I did Super MP for the first time in like a NASCA division, and I got all 9s, and I was a little surprised about that, but I
But you'll
wanted to
take it.
show the judges what I am, like what I can do more of than just one form, which I've pretty much done the whole year. So it definitely I just want to show I want to showcase myself more.
I think the other thing with the traditional challenge being 2 rounds is it starts making you not just show your well-roundedness, but also your strategy, right? Okay, so again, for certain people, it may be, okay, I know where this first term is going to be completely different. You got to go full out, right? Once you kind of get a couple terms in, you kind of feel, okay, I feel like I'm going to be in that top 4. Let me do this one to get me here. And so that way I have what you think is your best form. That could be a strategy. Some people say,
Right.
no, I'm going to go right out and do my best one first round, win it, and then figure out the rest. There's a lot of different strategies you do with this. For me, it's always about strategy with Korean Challenge. But I also know that I know a lot more forms than almost anyone else in that division. So I kind
Oh,
of
100%.
feel like I can kind of always change it up, right? And I feel like we're gonna see that, which to me is gonna be exciting, right? Um, Especially for the juniors too, because I think it's harder sometimes for the juniors on that. A lot of these guys here, they know multiple forms, so it's good. They come from that background of doing that, but not all of them do. So I think that's a good thing for our martial artists to learn. Sometimes we worry so much about, oh, well, if we do this, it's going to be too hard for people to want to enter it. Instead of thinking of, hey, we're going to make this rule to better our competitors. And that's what I think this finally is doing. It's bettering our competitors instead of just, yeah, but it was a lot easier for all of them to enter for them to do that one form.
Right. This makes the product better.
Yes, exactly. All right.
Hey, John Politi just mentioned this about the 2 winners. What
Yes.
does that do for points at the end of the year? How does that even work?
It's not really that hard. It's just like, so the 16-year-old would get, say you split 16-17, the 16-year-old winner gets their points, the 17-year-old division gets their points. They just combined, by the end
It's
of the
still
year,
just
it
the
kind of
same,
plays
just
off. Yeah.
total it up
Yeah.
at the end and
Right.
oh,
I mean, it's like the same way. I don't know if you remember, Alex, if you were competing then, but it used to be that way with divisions weren't split boy and girl in forms when I first
right.
started, the first 7-8
Oh, so
years.
it's okay. So that's a great
So
example.
remember, but then some tournaments they would split, like Bluegrass would split, Compete would split, Diamonds would split, and maybe sometimes Battle of Atlanta. Like those 4 tournaments would split, but then the rest of the tournaments wouldn't. So it would just be the same thing. Hey, I got first place on this one. All right, the next time I go against, in my case, it was Jennifer Santiago. I got to beat her, or it doesn't really matter,
But then at
So
the end of the year, it's all just one. They pool it into one.
yes, yep. All right, so we've talked about who you guys are excited about going against. Let's talk about this past year. So share some of the biggest moments of this year for you guys. All right. Who wants to start? Raise your hand. We're in class. Malachi, let's go.
I'd say one of the biggest moments of this year was actually just at Toronto after winning my Grands fight, because that signified me going undefeated inside my fighting division and my Grands all year. So that was a pretty big moment for me. I was really proud of that because I worked really hard.
Exactly. I love it. That was a huge weekend. And then, hey, here you go. Let's just say I'm going to give you another shout out. You won both weapons grands and then won the overall. Like that's huge too, right?
Yeah, that was
So
pretty crazy.
winning 3 grands in one tournament, that's fun, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, who's next?
Oh,
Yeah,
All right.
There you
yeah.
go.
Amanda, you can go.
Okay. I think the biggest moment for me this year was Diamonds. It was my last one, my last tournament of the year. It was my last 13 under tournament, and I won double overall. So I think that I was the best 13 under girl at that tournament because I won everything. And then same thing as Malachi said, I went undefeated for all the forms. Every forms overall grand championship I won, either if it was with CMX forms or traditional forms. So I was super happy after that tournament for sure.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Amazing. Mitch.
So I think Toronto was my best tournament. It was the first time I've ever won trad weapons. I've gotten like third in a couple other tournaments, but I got first this time in last tournament. I won grands against Gavin Dollarite, which was very tough. I thought it was very close between us. And then I went against Evan from Amerikick on stage,
Yeah.
and I won against him. Unfortunately, it dropped, and I felt terrible. But it was definitely a goal I wanted to achieve right before the end of the year, especially for 16, 17.
Awesome. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I mean, listen, all three of you guys have like just made a statement this year, either from the beginning all the way to the end. Malachi, I think you have done that with your fighting consistently, but then your forms, you've had, you continue to get better and better and better with your forms and your weapons. So it's really exciting to see. And I feel like right now is the best time to be feeling that way as you're moving up, right? So
Yes, sir.
So we got Warrior Cup. What are you guys thinking? What you're excited about? What's what do we have? 5 weeks, I guess, maybe. And or maybe a little bit more, but yeah, probably 5 weeks. All right. Let's hear it. What do we got? What's on the agenda?
Getting an Italian beef with Jardinier. That's what's on the agenda.
It's well, food is first, okay? Then we compete. Okay? And then after, it's always the same. It's like food, competition, more food. All right. That's the way it is for me, but
I can't eat before I compete. So
okay.
after.
I actually agree with you, Amanda. There's and then I'm gonna say this and then I'll let you guys go for it, because there's a lot of people say like, man, when I go to competitions, I don't have my normal diet, I actually gain weight, and I always lose weight.
Yeah, I lose a lot.
When I go to competitions, because it's like, okay, I'll go on a Saturday. When are you sitting down and eating? Right? You're gonna compete so early in the morning. Are you having a real breakfast? No. You're gonna have something small so that your stomach doesn't die. All right. Maybe get like something to drink. You're probably not drinking coffee, so that doesn't mean anything. All right. And then you get like a granola bar in, and then you do another competition, and then by that there's the finals, and then the tournament's done. All right. So no, there's no eating. So all right, I'll let you go. I'm sorry.
Snacks throughout the day always helps, like granola bars, like you said.
You gotta. All right, Amanda, what we got?
Me, okay. So as far as training, I'm just continue the same thing I was doing in 13 and under. I mean, definitely I need to get stronger because I know these girls are a lot stronger than me. They're older than me, but I'm going into Warrior Cup as the mentality that I've already done a lot. I know these girls are going to look at me as like she's the baby of the division, but I have to look at myself as I'm the best in the division. So I'm going to do my best and see how Warrior Cup goes, and hopefully I'll come out with that win.
Nice. All right, who's next?
For me, it's the same thing as Amanda. I've been feeling like really confident lately. I've been putting in the work. Just keep it pushing. Keep the momentum going right into Warrior Cup. Come out strong. First tournament of the year. Set the statement. Fight good. Sir.
Well, now, Malachi, speaking of fighting, the 14 to 15-year-old boys fighting division is probably the most testosterone-filled division of the entire tournament. Yeah. All right. And so buckle up. All right. Because
I'm excited. Bunch of new fights, new fighters.
I am glad you're excited. All right. Great. The talent is usually super high. All right. Yeah. I mean, it gets better. I mean, obviously, when you're 17, you're going to be better. Right. But like the testosterone, I giggle when I see it live. Like I'm on the outside of it. I'm like, they're just smashing each other as hard as they can. They don't even know why. All right. So it is definitely going to be exciting. But do you have anybody that you're like, hey, I'm probably not going to fight this guy because he's not in my division, but I've been eyeballing him, and I want to, if I ever could, I'd like to fight him.
Okay. Not in 14, 15, like any age division?
Yes, because you already answered that question about that one.
Okay. Okay. Since I'm moving up to adults, like you said, you know what I'm saying? I'm moving up to adults.
Yep.
I want to fight Enrique.
That's where I was going. All right, Enrique.
Yeah.
Why Enrique? Why? Tell me why.
I've noticed a lot of people. I mean, I'm gonna get 10 points spreaded by him. Let's be honest. But it'd be really fun to fight him and see his leg like in action because I've never fought him before.
All right.
I mean, but he has a style.
Yeah.
That people think they have an answer for him until they fight him. All right. Everybody there's been a lot of people that have fought similarly to him, where they see him when they're outside the ring and they go, I mean, why is he such a, all you got to do is, and then they can never do that thing that they're saying. All right. And until they actually get in there, like you don't know that you don't know. Right. So, but it's interesting that was the guy. All right. I'm excited to see that happen when you turn 18 next year. This is going to be fun.
Can't wait. Y'all better be ready.
We're starting it. Oh,
We're going to keep riding this bit the whole year.
Yeah, we are.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be a year thing.
All right, Mitchell, what about you, man?
So honestly, like my training, I need to boost it up. I feel like definitely going to 18 plus, because 17 under for trad, at least, it's all about speed, a little power, but mostly speed. For adults, it's all just power.
Yeah.
So like Mason Stowell, he's a bull. And
Yeah.
I need to get up to that level and just have raw power in my forms, and which I need to start training on that soon. But yeah.
What does that look like?
So
you
like
you need to change your training. What is that? What do you mean by that? I have thoughts, but I want to know I want to hear what you think.
So right now I've been doing a lot of weightlifting, resistance bands training. But right now I'm trying to switch more to like plyometric stuff, more body weight stuff, what's it called, weighted vests and all that, just to get more brute power and all that.
I think that's a fantastic approach.
Yep.
So often, people, this is before like lifting culture was like so common. All right. It was just for the meatheads. They would tell like martial artists like, don't go lift a whole bunch of weights because then you won't be able to yada da da and da da da.
Yeah.
All right. And then, but you got to be careful because lifting weights is really freaking fun. All right.
Yeah.
So then it's easy to get sucked into the meathead game. All right. So but I like your approach, what you were talking about, like with the explosive plyometrics. I think that is really what will help you. And it doesn't matter the division. It doesn't matter whether it's forms, it's fighting. Weapons is the tricky one though. Right?
That
because
definitely is a tricky
when
one.
you're holding a weapon and you have to be able to have all of that dexterity with the weapon, like it's definitely tough. But it's also something I don't personally know a lot about. So I'm saying it's different, but have I done it? Do I really know? I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean it's important to definitely be doing the cross training, the strength and conditioning, while also keeping your mobility in check, right? And your flexibility in check, and making sure you have that, because you have seen some that gotten. Not necessary. I don't think it's because they lifted too much. It was just because they weren't doing the other things that they used to do. They only lifted.
Bingo.
And you have to stay well-rounded, because you do see some that start all of a sudden, wait a minute, they used to have great posture and now they're just,
now their shoulders are up at their earlobes.
Yeah. So just remember to keep doing what you do, and then add in those extra elements
Yeah.
just enough. You don't completely shift to one to the other. So, all right,
Hey Jeff, I didn't ask you. You like my coffee mug today?
I do, man. That's cool.
This is a pretty good one, right?
That's a good one. That is a good one. I like that one. All right. What was one of the biggest things you learned from this year, guys? What's one of the biggest lessons you have learned?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Usually for teenagers, it's what to make sure you do when you get to your hotel room, what not to do, who not to upset,
or who not to hang out with. Yeah.
Oh yes, that's a big one.
I say you
John
have to put
said
in
you're
work.
having eggnog.
No, this is straight coffee. Although I love myself some eggnog. Eggnog is a great cream around Christmas time.
It is. I had eggnog ice cream over the weekend. Yeah. It was
I've
good.
never tried eggnog before.
Shut
Eggnog
the
ice
front door, Amanda.
I've never had.
Malachi, go ahead. You were going to say something.
Yeah, my bad.
I was gonna say, a lesson I learned was you have to put in the work to see the results. Before I was probably training like 4 or 5 times a week, but like even just like that extra day and doing extra training on the side, training 6 days a week, putting in the extra work, that's what you gets you the results that you want. So putting in the extra work, being up while other people are sleeping or relaxing or gaming, putting in the work.
Love it. All right.
For me, I think the biggest lesson I learned this year, was this past weekend when I went to Italy. It was a completely different experience for me. I was in Europe. I was seeing the girls that live in Europe, train in Europe. I think they train way differently than the way we train here. Those girls, like, they're built different, like they're stronger, taller. So I think I'm definitely gonna have to start training harder if I want to be on the level that I want to get to. So I think the biggest lesson overall is I need to train harder to get to where I want to be.
We'll talk about what do you mean? What's that training like?
I think definitely, since I'm also moving up in that circuit, also the WKF, I'll be a cadet, which is 14-15.
Right.
Those girls, they're same thing as Mitchell said, they're like powerhouses. They're super strong. So I think same thing he said, like going to the gym a bit more, not too much weightlifting, because I think I'm still young for that. I don't want to be lifting so much weights and maybe getting hurt, but definitely more like speed stuff, like running more. I'm not really good at running, but I want to get better at that stuff. My dad can definitely help me. He used to be a bodybuilder, so him helping me do weights, getting stronger, things like that, definitely. And my basics have to get better too. So those girls have been training their whole lives karate. I just like transferred from taekwondo to karate about 4 years ago compared to their like full like 10-11 years of straight karate.
Hang on. Your dad used to be a bodybuilder?
Oh yeah.
Actually, not that I'm picturing like his body composition. That actually does make a bit of sense.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Don't share any pictures right now of him showing.
Yeah, not right now.
We don't need to see
Maybe
that.
later. All right,
don't
maybe
need-
you know what? Go ahead and do it. Who knows?
You can tell
All
by
right,
the way
Mitchell.
he walks. He walks like this. Don't get mad at me, Dad. Don't get mad.
Oh, that's hilarious. Mitchell, what you got, bud?
So the biggest things I learned this year is building relationships with everyone, competitors, promoters, families, and and then being yourself, being humble, being just acting like you. Don't act like a ding dong out on the mats.
I like that.
Yeah.
Ding dong on the
Yeah.
mat.
Don't act like a ding dong on the mats. And then
Mitchell,
I
that
think-
was like a 1984 insult right there.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
I love it.
and then I think the biggest one that I've learned is who has your back. Like
Oh
know
yeah.
who has your back.
Well,
Yeah.
wait.
Definitely going to the adults. That's the
Expand
thing.
on that. What do you mean that you learn like who has your back? Because
So
if you're
like
saying that, you must mean that somebody didn't.
So like right now I got Mike and John Politi. They cover my backs. They're always
Solid
there.
guys.
They're always checking up on me. They're always right beside me. They will defend me in any way. And yeah.
That was a kind of a generic answer. Now I agree with you. I think the Politis are solid guys. All right. But when you said like knowing like who's got your back, you must really mean at one point you realized you were like, I thought this person had my back, but
Yeah, so like in the past, I definitely had some people that were like, I don't know if I'm definitely gonna fit in with you. So you have to pick your ways on who you go with. Definitely.
okay.
Keep a good circle.
So
Yeah.
you lost some
yeah.
friends. You lost some friends along the way.
Yeah. A while. Yeah. A
Sometimes
while
that
ago. Definitely. It just
All right.
being in the wrong crowd, in the wrong time, and then.
What are you calling me out for, Java? Alex is the one asking the questions. Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm not prying at him. It's Alex.
What's
Alex,
happening, Java?
Alex always forgets that when we interview kids, he'd be like, "Wait a minute, give me more dirt, give me more dirt."
Come on, Jeff. You trying to tell me when you were 15, 16, you didn't have like experiences like that? You did. All right.
Listen, my experience is a lot different. I
Well,
can
that's
control that guy. Not his mouth. His mouth says whatever he wants to say there, Java.
truth.
No, you're right. But I also was around a lot. It was a lot different time when we were coming up. Everything was a lot different. And I don't feel like there was as much of a separation between the juniors and the adults as there is now, which honestly is a good thing, that there is more of a separation between the juniors and the adults. But back when I was coming, it was not. I mean, I just remember, we could be around, huh?
The access that we had.
The access that we had was a lot different of things, good and bad.
Yes.
But I just remember when we were coming up, again, like you guys look to the adults, but when we've shared this before, when Carmichael was moved to adults, we were like, hey, we're just ready to watch him win. You know what I mean? There's been a few people like that. And literally his third tournament, he won an overall grand against the highest level people, so like it was a little bit of a different thing. Like we were, Jimmy Pham was like our guy, and so you have these guys that, are 17 and you're 10 and you're looking up to them, but you are around them all the time. Also, there wasn't the division splits, like most every tournament, a 17-year-old was competing against an 8 or 9-year-old in grands all the time. And then the next year he's going against, like we said, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. So it's a big difference, as far as the way I grew up in the sport than, you guys, because again, Amanda, until you move up, you won't be able to say that you compete against even someone like Pia or Avery, because there's a 4-year gap. For me,
I definitely wanted to compete against.
But for me, when I was 10, I was competing against Carmichael. I was competing against Brian Ruth. Like, come on, there was not even the same, like Brian Ruth was 200 pounds of pure muscle, knocking people out. And I'm competing against them, doing my bow compared to his bow. Yeah, come on. A completely different era.
Wait, I didn't know you competed against Brian Ruth. You guys were in the grands?
All of us were in grands together, man. 14,
Yeah,
41 grand.
I would have, I
There's 7.
suppose, because when did he turn adult? 95?
95. Yep. Yeah.
And
Same
so
with him and
94.
Carmichael. The same group.
That's wild.
Yeah. So yeah, and I know I'm mentioning names that you guys may not know unless you've. Well, if you listen to the show at all, you've probably heard us talk about him. So you need to. And actually, Amanda, you met him at U.S. Open, Carmichael Simon.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah. And then when we're talking about Brian Ruth, guys, Brian Ruth is one of the best fighters ever. This is Greg Ruth's son, okay, who really is the one that kind of got him into all of this. Now he runs a tournament. It's like, from being a parent, in the sport, supporting a kid to now running one of the biggest tournaments in the world. So pretty cool. All right, Alex, what else you got for him?
I thought it was interesting when we were chatting before the show. I'm interested to hear what other insiders had to say about this. Amanda was excited that the Vikings had a pretty awesome win, right? Skull Vikes, right, Amanda? Right? All right. She's even doing the clap. I could dig it. It is blowing my mind that you said you're likely gonna go to the game on Sunday when the Vikes are playing the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
And you said tickets were $30.
Yeah.
That
I
doesn't
mean,
make
it's all
sense
the
to
way at
me.
the top, but still $30 for an NFL game is pretty good.
Yeah, that's not possible here. So I'm interested. What have you guys? What is like the biggest like event or sporting event that you guys have been to, or maybe most memorable for you?
I say a U of M football game. There was like 150,000 people there. It was humongous. It was like crazy.
That might be the biggest stadium.
Yeah, you can't even hear your own
I
self.
don't think there's a bigger stadium than U of M.
Yeah.
it's pretty sick.
Yeah,
So
I think for me the biggest one was I went to a soccer game at MetLife Stadium, Giants and Jets Stadium. It was the Chelsea game versus I think it was Fluminense. It's a Brazilian club team. It was the semifinals for the Club World Cup. So that was super cool.
Yeah,
you get into this. You follow the sport.
Yeah. My family's Brazilian, so we're really big with like soccer. You watch it.
You could see everything. You know how this is like when you're there in this massive stadium. That's all right. Go ahead. That's crazy to me. But you know what? I'm saying that, but then at the same time, like I like watching a live hockey game, which if you've not done that and you can really follow that, you have no clue where that puck is, right? Unless you know how to follow it. Because that is like some of the fastest thing you'll ever see. What about you, Mitchell? What's the biggest event you've been to?
Honestly, just a regular the Blue Jays game in Toronto when Jose Bautista came back for just one night, and we got like bobbleheads of him. That was probably the biggest one I went to. I haven't really gone to like NHLs or NFL games, but Blue Jays is probably the biggest one I've went to.
Nice. Yeah. I've done a lot of different sports, but Alex, you asked me before we even started the show, when was the last time I've been to an NFL game? I don't think I have been. I've been to a lot of college games because I'm a big Clemson fan. And so I've been to almost like so many different away games, at Clemson. And of course, Virginia Tech's stadium's pretty big and it's kind of rowdy. It's wild. So that would be one where, because I think I shared this once on the show before, but yeah, like I, almost got jumped at a Virginia Tech game because I was wearing like Clemson stuff, but like I went to the school right next to it too. So I didn't really care because I wasn't really a fan of those guys anyway. So it's okay. All right. Like the college I went to was like the next door, like Radford is like 15 minutes from there. And so, oh yeah. And then of course, yeah, does WWE count? Yeah. I think some of those. So
You've been to a number of those.
It's all right. It's been years So when I was younger, I flew to like Seattle to go see Andre the Giant and like Jake the Snake
Whoa.
and like Hulk Hogan and stuff back in the day. Yeah, my mom took me to there. We went, so that was pretty big deal. And that
But see,
was
now that would make a bit of sense because now you could look back at that and go, I got to see, and there were some of the biggest legends in wrestling history.
yeah.
So that
Yeah.
actually, I think that checks out.
Yeah,
But-
several of my students went Saturday to see John Cena's last match, and it was pretty crazy.
But you were
Yeah.
saying, wasn't it like, how much are those tickets? You were saying,
Bro, it was expensive. I think
it's like
I
up there,
think I haven't
like
they
a
haven't
mortgage.
yeah, I think I don't I know so I have a student that I would go to, like former student that now I go to events and stuff with him, but he is one of those people that goes to the front row of like he's been in the front row like WrestleMania, and he spent like $20,000 on like a front row seat or whatever, and then the next year they're like, "Hey, we got your seat for you. All right, how much is it? 45,000." Like they like over like double. Yeah, it's insane, dude. It's insane. So yeah,
Me and my parents were looking at tickets for the World Cup because it's gonna be
Yeah.
like literally right here, right next to our house, 10 minutes away. And the cheapest tickets are like $1,000 all the way at the top. Like there's tickets going for like 15. That like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
and
It's
when we're
so-
in Atlanta, they're going to be having games in Atlanta during Battle of Atlanta. It's going to be insane. Traffic's going to be. It's going to be hard. I mean, it always is hard to get a hotel for that tournament, a room. So you're going to really have to figure it out.
There was, you know what? I remember, speaking of that, Jeff, there was one year I remember the Vikes were playing the Falcons the same weekend as the battle. And
Yes, yeah.
and I think they stayed. Oh, there was a year that was when the hotels were across the street from each other. And I think like the players stayed in the hotel right across the street.
Yeah, they did. They did. That's right. Yeah,
That-
and
I
they
would
came
have been
over.
in that hotel. I
And
would have
imagine
been
being
finding
there
that.
and you see Randy Moss, all right?
Yeah.
What I'm talking about. You see my guy Chris Carter? How cool would that be? And Ross, thank you. Thank you for the compliments on the sweater.
He said, I hope they
Thank you.
lost.
I appreciate that. Look at that. We got champion Ross Levine in the chat.
I know. Also,
Actually,
like
Ross, I think they did lose.
one year at Super Grands, they had a wrestler, like they had a live event next door, and all the wrestlers stay at the hotel, and so we're all hanging out with all of us after the finals and stuff, and yeah. But I mean, guys, there was a time. Well, y'all have seen it since you've been at like Atlanta now is kind of the thing where we see people that are in some of the movies or just stunts. We have friends and stuff that do that. We saw Tyron Woodley a couple years ago at Battle of Atlanta, right? But when I was competing in the night show, and like literally Evander Holyfield was my judge. Like we would do crazy things like that. Not only will we have them there as guests, but we'll go ahead and put them, like we had the Green Power Ranger as the judge. Yeah, he did martial arts, but he was never really at that level. Like, come on.
But, and while you would think, like, wait a minute, what do we have in Evander Holyfield judge point fighting?
Right.
But which is not, you might probably be like, oh, okay, this is so cool that he's here. Probably shouldn't be doing that. But then on the other hand, you get some guys, you look at them and you don't even think they have two working eyes, all right? And they're judging it, all right? So if they can judge it, why can't Evander Holyfield?
Right. But so it's so funny, dude. Just all the different, and there's a lot of celebrities that would come out to the battle every year,
Yeah.
So,
You know what? Got to give Joe Corley his flowers. He did a very good job about that. All right.
Oh yeah.
He did. Who are some of the other guys? He got Holyfield.
Herschel Walker was there.
Herschel.
Yeah.
Talk about Vikings legend. There we go. Herschel Walker. You guys don't know
Yeah.
who Herschel Walker is. I'll give you tiny little cliff notes. Herschel Walker was the MVP of the league, and the Vikings decided to trade 5 first-round draft picks to the Cowboys to get him, and that's what made the Cowboys dynasty. So there you go, Ross. There's your Vikings loss for your Cowboys win.
Right. Oh man. Yeah, so I mean there's so many just fun things that I think we got to do when we go to these events. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that Edgar and I have been talking about. It's like, hey, for some of these things, we got to just like stay an extra day and just experience some of the stuff instead of
Word.
just staying in, staying in a hotel and the tournament the whole time, right? It's a little hard. Is both of us have businesses, but we also have people that can run some things, So, but that's something that we've kind of talked about. For me, I try to do that at Toronto this past year or the year before. Like I went to the Castle Loma, and I thought that was a really cool experience. This year, I was a little more tired, so I slept in a little bit, and then I tried to find like some place that I thought was going to be historical, and it wasn't. It was just
Ha!
I guess it was
You
like
just
a
went to an old building that cost
yeah,
money.
yeah. It was kind of funny how you can find some things that are supposed to be some, and it was like I think it's called the Franklin House, and I was like, okay, I'll go in and I'll see it. No, it's just a bar that's just been around since like the 1850s, but it was closed, so it was like, so I didn't really. I just kind of walked around the town, and yeah, really cool.
At American, me and Amanda's family went to a boardwalk. That was really fun.
Yeah, we went to Wildwood. It was super cool. My family, we try to go every summer, but we weren't able to go like this past summer. But we did. We went for a day. We took Malachi's family and Trey. We went for a little bit. It was super fun. We did like what was it? Go karting. Oh, Nathan
Yeah, I
Picard
won.
came. No, you
Who
didn't.
thought you won? I won.
I won. He's lying, guys. I
Mitchell, you
won.
got to get in with these guys.
They're doing fun
You
stuff.
talk about all the friends you made. Looks like you made the wrong friends. These guys
Mitchell, you
go
don't want this
karting.
smoke, bro.
No, because every time I was like go karting, like Malachi wanted to like crash into me, so like I would like cut him off so he couldn't crash into me, right? Like that's how.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
See, the truth comes out. You guys tore it up. Tore it up. You broke it. They asked you to leave. Yeah.
Well, no, wait, Amanda, you mentioned training in Italy as well. Now,
Yeah.
being an Italian, but I've never been to Italy. All right. Yeah, I'll say yet. Talk to me about that. You mentioned a little bit about the training. What about being there? Because that's kind of what Jeff was alluding to also, which was like, hey, we're going there. Let's not just see the inside of a convention center or hotel ballroom and then go home.
Yeah.
You don't go there just to do the training and come home. So what was it like?
Yeah. So I didn't have that much time in Italy just because I'm also in school right now, so it was hard for me to miss a lot
school
of
when you
things.
get back. School ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but if I had the chance, I would definitely like to train. Oh, my voice just cracked. Because the girls there are definitely really good. I'm sure the coaches there, they produce champions. So I would love to train anywhere in Europe, Asia. I would really want to. One of my coaches is actually Brazilian. So I train with the Brazilian sensei at least once a week. So I do get that like out of country kind of training system and how they view like the traditional world from their aspect.
What was the food like?
It was good. I had a lot of pasta.
What was your favorite?
So at the
And
tournament,
could you pronounce it?
I think. Okay, at the tournament, usually tournament food's not the best, right? Like they have like little like stands and you get like chips or whatever. But
Sure.
they had like this like little like cart and there was like 4 like pans of pasta and the guy kept on like freshly making it. And I had it the first day and it was bolognese, I think it's called.
Bolognese.
It was the best pasta I've ever had. It was so good. And I had like 2 bowls. It was so good. But that was good. I had like a sandwich thing. That was also good. I had no pizza. My dad did though. But yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
He told me he
I'm
wasn't
jealous.
interested in pizza, so
Yeah, I didn't try it. I should have tried it, but I didn't. I mean, it's
Well,
also
pizza's
hard.
there, so it's so
We have-
different, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah, it
have
is.
like New Jersey pizza. That's what we're used to, so it's probably different.
yeah.
Well, describe New Jersey pizza then. What is that?
Uh-oh.
I don't know how to describe it. It's like super okay. Well, I'll like tell you the difference of like what I saw. I didn't try it, but
Sure.
there the pizza was like a square, and it was like smaller pieces. Like it was like this small. But
Yeah.
like here we have like the big slices, like the typical like greasy pizza. Pizza there was not greasy. But I don't know. I didn't try it, so I can't say
That's
if
right,
it was
Java.
better or not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in Venice, but it was like Jesolo, so it was an hour from like the gondolas and all that stuff. So like I didn't like a lot of places were closed since it's like the winter there. So there wasn't like a lot of like that many food options around for like pizza and that type of stuff. But one thing I'll say is I had really good gelato.
That
Yeah.
also checks
Worth it.
out.
Worth it. Yep, that checks out. All right. Any tournament that you guys? All right. Of course, everyone's excited for Warrior Cup. That's the kickoff of the year. Is there a tournament next year that you guys are excited for? And that's how we'll finish up. Or maybe it could be a NASCAR one. It could be something that you're gonna shoot for overseas, or a different league, or a different experience, or maybe it's not even a tournament. It could be like a training session with someone that you're excited about. Mitchell, you got something for me?
Honestly, it either has to be California or Rhode Island. I've never been to those ones.
Okay.
And next year I'm gonna try and hit them for the NASCAR tour, alongside of most of them, like Warrior Cup, Quebec Battle, all of that. But
Yeah.
California or Rhode Island, I'm excited for, because I've never been to those ones either, and especially LA too.
Yeah.
Just going to California.
Definitely, if you go out there, you got to go and see some things. You got to
Yeah.
get around. Yeah, it's worth it. I mean, I haven't. Geez, I don't even remember last time I was out there, but would definitely. Yes, I know. Andrew and I are trying to get you to Abu Dhabi next year.
Oh, WKU.
Amanda, what about you?
Okay, I have 3. I'm super excited for the US Open. It's one of my favorite tournaments. Hoping to make the stage again. I've made it 3 years in a row, but I know it's going to be hard. I'm in a different age division, different girls I have to go up against. I'm also super excited. I think I'm not 100% sure yet, but there is another WKF tournament in Fujairah. It's like right outside of Dubai. So I hope I'll be able to go to that one. That's completely different girls. There'll still be like some from the tournament that I competed in Italy, but most of them are like girls from Egypt, Saudi Arabia. So I'll be able to compete against those girls. And then more local, I'm excited for the Mid Atlantic Challenge. I can't wait to see how many people come. I know a lot of people from our team are coming, so I'm super excited to see how that goes.
Awesome. Malachi, what do you got, dude?
So there's 2 that I'm really excited for. I hopefully want to do Waco next year. I know that's
Yeah.
going to be in Italy.
Italy.
And
Yep.
based off all the stuff that Amanda says, it sounds really fun. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I've seen all the live streams of the fights. Well, all the Waco fights are crazy. It's 3 rounds per fight, and it's like 1 fight per day. So it's like really organized, and I really like that. And then I'm also looking forward to WKC Spain next year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It's a
going to
big
be
deal representing your country there and doing that. So the route to getting on the team, it's like an important one and a difficult one. So, but do you know what city in Italy it's going to be in?
Yeah, it's
No,
in
sir.
Jesolo. I think it's in Jesolo is what I saw.
Oh,
Okay.
it's probably the same venue that I competed
I
at.
think
then.
it is. I think it is.
Could have
Yeah.
been. Java saying he was there as well.
Yeah, they just announced it like this week or whatever
Okay.
because there was a change, I think, of where they were supposed to go. So, but yeah. So yeah, I'm the same way. I'm there's so many different things I want to try. Again, for me, I've done almost every NASCAR tournament at least 5 times, maybe more. Maybe 10 times. But I really enjoyed being in Germany last year for WKU. Maybe doing Abu Dhabi next year. But again, I haven't done. It's crazy, but I haven't done WKC. So really, being able to do that would be great. we've talked about, me planning on doing Waco, but there's not any divisions yet for me on that. So hopefully one day before I'm, can't move anymore, so, but, and then again, like we've been talking as well, is trying to figure out a way to start doing the the USAT, the USA Taekwondo, and also to get to the World Championships for the World Taekwondo. So that would be the next step for me, that will be happening probably after this year. So I may take some baby steps doing some of the local things to get in the US, and then eventually start working my way to that, So
We should just give you a whole new division to compete in. We should just have you do like Chinese weapons.
I've done that before.
We'll give you like a new weapon. You'll have to do like whip chain or like
I'm done with
broadsword.
weapons for a while. I'm taking a break from weapons for a while.
We'll give you a new one.
All right, you give me a
Broadsword.
new one. All right, I'll do the 3-sectional staff. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Have you actually done that before?
The staff, the 3-sectional
Yeah.
staff. Yeah, I have 2 of them in here,
You
and I practice them. Yeah, I have a padded one and I have a wooden one. I have one for practice so you don't kill yourself. And then,
Because that's legit. Like I picked up one time. It is so easy to concuss yourself.
it is. It is. Yeah, I've done the broadsword before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Remember the
not-
tournament I told you about where I won the motorcycle?
You
I
did it
went
at that one?
Yeah, I literally went to the Tiger Claw table and asked, all right, which weapon should I compete with? And they picked, and I bought a broadsword right there, and I went and tied for first place.
Dang,
Oh my gosh.
crazy.
Yeah.
But guys, things like that happened. Not that is an extreme what Jeff did, but things like that would happen in that time where people would just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go enter this division today, and they've
Yeah.
not done it, and they would just like on the spot go register, compete, and sometimes people just go do it and win, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes people would do that. They would be like, all right, I'm gonna go buy some gear and then just enter this fighting division, go and like win their division. So it doesn't happen as much. I can't think of the last time I've heard of someone doing that, but I don't know, when was the last time Jason Borelli competed, because that's probably the last time it happened.
Last time. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and also too, we would pay for, when you would register, you were already getting 3 divisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of tournaments back in the day were that way. So you would get forms, weapons, sparring with your registration. So you might as well do all 3 or
Right.
not. If you don't want to, So we
Oh,
still have
Sam, that's
local
a good point. It's probably
here.
Rashad.
We still have local terms here that do that, and it's great. But we also don't have mats either. So
Or Juventex or Mad Hacks.
or a time limit, so just the match will goes until someone hits 7. So
Or working internet.
or working. Oh man. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. And I mean, I'm telling you, you guys did a great job. So continue continue doing that. Continue, like Mitchell was saying, building those relationships, communicate with people, growing as martial artists, and going out there and killing it this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, Alex.
This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week.